What's up, boys? Taking a look at some more NFL player props today over on prizepicks. We've been killing it over on the Patreon for NFL prizepicks. We were 9-2-1 the last Sunday combined with the last Monday. So Sunday Night Football and the Sunday slate, and then Monday Night Football, we've been 9-2-1 over on the Patreon. So if you guys are interested in joining, you guys can check that out. The link is in the description below. And if you guys do click that link in the description, there are three different options. There's the NFL for $10.99 a month. You guys will get just NFL regular season, or you guys can get just MLB for $11.99, or you guys can get the all sports package for $15.99. This includes NBA regular season, MLB regular season, and NFL regular season. So eventually when NBA comes around. But that's all for $15.99. So if you guys are interested in joining, the link is in the description yet again. But yeah, player props have been posted since last night over there for this slate right here. So I'm really excited about today, man. So I will say it's not the greatest of slates. I think I'm gonna hit Thursdays a lot. I think I'm really gonna like obviously the Sunday slates with the Monday Night Football slates. And again, we've been 9-2-1 so far with those two slates. But we'll see how this game goes today, man. It's the Chiefs and the Chargers. So let's take a look here. I got two player props for you guys in today's video. But finally, before we hop in, make sure you guys leave a like on the video and subscribe with those post notifications on so you guys don't miss any of these plays. But yeah, also, if you guys are on prizepicks, 100% deposit match up to $100 when you guys use my code DOMG on prizepicks. So I highly recommend joining if you guys have not already. It's available in most states. And yeah, let's hop in. So right here, this game, let's take a look at this game before we hop into any of the player props or anything like that. So the game details here, Kansas City is at home, so I will say that. The spread is Kansas City -4. Kansas City is favored -210, and the over-under is a 54. So over-under is really, really high on this. So they're expecting a lot of offense in this one here, and I am on board with that. So let's take a look, though. So starting off with my top play here. This is going to be a defensive prop here. It's actually going to be a tackles plus assist prop here. It's actually going to be Joey Bosa over 2.5 tackles plus assists. You guys are probably thinking this is kind of a weird one to take, you know, especially in a game with a super high over-under of 54. But Joey Bosa, he's got a really, really good look here. So he went from a -133 last night, actually up to a -140. So it's really, really good odds for being on the prizepicks board. You guys are getting a little bit of plus EV there because prizepicks, I believe, is like -137 odds. And you're getting, you know, Joey Bosa here for a -1. That's usually a -140 on sportsbooks at a -137 on prizepicks. So that kind of makes sense. But he's hit this in 69% of games last season, 71% of games on the road. He also had 3 last game against the Raiders, who they just played. And he's also 2 for 2 versus Kansas City last season with 3 and 5. So this is his game log right here. You guys can see 3 tackles plus assists last game against the Raiders. He had 2 before that. He also had 6 against Denver, 5 against Kansas City. And this is his game log against Kansas City. So he had 5 last time he faced them, which was in December. And then on the 26th of August last year, he had 3 against them. So he's playing them again in August this time. And I'm hoping he can get 3 yet again here. He hasn't missed this, though, since November 18th of 2019 against the Chiefs. He's hit this in 4 straight games against the Chiefs here with 5, 3, 4, and 3. So I'm hoping he can do this yet again here and cash the over with the 3 tackles plus assists. So I'm really liking the spot here a lot. The odds are really good on this one. I'm definitely liking that. I'm liking the hit rate on this. I'm liking a lot of different things about this player prop. So make sure you guys always tailor your own risk and do your own research into these props. I'm telling you guys, do your own research, all that different stuff. Just don't tail randomly. Look into these more on your own. Let's take a look here at a receiving prop here because we have to cash in, hopefully, on this over-under being super high at 54. I'm looking Juju Smith here over 58.5 receiving yards. I'm liking this spot here again with him against the Chargers here. So this is obviously going to be a high-scoring game, it seems like, with the over-under being at 54. He's going to be at home against the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers really have anyone besides who they have. Asante Samuel, really? I think they do have another corner coming back, but I don't know if anyone's going to be really able to stop Juju. I don't know who the other receiving options really will be on the team, other than obviously Travis Kelce. So he's just going to be competing with Travis Kelce for these receiving yards here. I think Derwin James should do at least a decent job of stopping Travis Kelce with him actually being healthy now for the Chargers. So I think that should open up some lanes for Juju here to go over on these receiving yards. But there's a couple other reasons why I like this prop here. He's at -105 to go over 60.5 on the sports books, but he's also plus odds to go under 60.5 on the sports books, yet he's at 58.5 on prizepicks. You guys get a 2-yard little bump down right here with the plus odds being for him to go under 60.5. So I'm kind of liking this a little bit here over on prizepicks. But he also had 79 last game, so he had 79 receiving yards last games against Arizona. He's also had 5 catches on the prizepicks board. So if he has 5 catches, I think he'll be able to catch this over for sure. But Juju's a guy that can catch this over with one big, you know, he's got a little bit of a deep threat, but he's also really good taking those slant routes to the house and all that. So he's good at taking those catches and getting a lot of yards off of them. So I think if he gets 4 or 5 receptions, I think this should be able to hit. So I think it's a little bit more reliable than the 5 catches right there. If he has 6 catches, I mean, I feel super good about him catching this over right here. So I like this a little bit more than the receptions, but I don't think the receptions are a terrible play either. But last game he had 6 receptions on 8 targets for 79 receiving yards. So he had 8 targets from Kansas City. I believe that was the second highest on their team. I believe Travis Kelce was obviously number 1 when it came to targets. So I think Juju was definitely that number 1 receiver type of guy for the Kansas City Chiefs when it came to last game against the Cardinals. So I'm definitely liking him a lot here against the Chargers, and I think he's in a pretty good spot to go ahead and cash these receiving yard over props. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple leans, a couple other interesting plays here for today. So I think that Mahomes over interceptions isn't a terrible play. This is a lean for me that's not on the Patreon as official play or anything like that, but not an official play, just kind of a lean for me. It's Patrick Mahomes over an interception. The odds are pretty solid on this one. I think he could potentially throw an interception. I believe he might throw for more at home if I'm not wrong. I think he throws more interceptions. Don't quote me on that, at least as of last season. Receiving targets, definitely interesting. Mike Williams only had 2 targets last week, I believe. No, he had 3 targets last week, I think. But obviously now Keenan Allen is out, which should open up Mike Williams for sure. I think Mike Williams would probably have a big day, but if they shut him down, I think it's got to be Josh Palmer. So Everett could have a pretty solid day, I think. I think people are overhyping him a little bit, though. I definitely do think that. Gerald Everett, just because he had a really, really solid last game, I think he could still possibly get shut down today a little bit. So I think he might look to his way a little bit less, even though Keenan Allen is out. So I'm trying to stay away, obviously, from Charger receiving props a little bit here because we don't really know what this team looks like too much without Keenan Allen. So we have seen it before in the past, but it's only like a 2-game sample size. So I'm trying to stay away from the Chargers or like receiving props a little bit here, if that kind of makes sense. So I think Austin Eckler could have a pretty solid day. I think the odds are really good for Austin Eckler to score a rushing touchdown. I've seen him at like minus 185 on sportsbooks for an anytime touchdown, which is a receiving and rushing touchdown, but he's just at rushing on prize picks. So that's a little bit interesting, I do think. I think the odds could be pretty solid for just rushing touchdowns. I have not seen his odds, though, for just rushing touchdowns. But pass attempts here, you can take a look here. Justin Herbert's at 37.5. Mahomes is not on the prize picks board. Then you have completions here. Justin Herbert, 25.5. Didn't really see anything too valuable there. I do like Austin Eckler's rushing attempts a little bit. I'm not personally playing it, but I think Austin Eckler's rushing attempts are definitely a little bit interesting at 13. Especially with Keenan Allen out, I kind of like this over a little bit here. I would not be surprised, though, if he ends with 12. I think Austin Eckler will have at least 12 rushing attempts. I would not be surprised if he ended this at 12. So I think Austin Eckler, though, is in a pretty good spot to go over his rushing attempts without Keenan Allen, but that's kind of just me being skeptical. So anyways, Marcos Scaling. I wish I posted it on the Patreon. I wish I took it. MVS was at 4 receptions like 2 days ago. I had it written down, had it written on everything, and he got bumped down to 3. So I'm really pissed about that because now he's plus odds to go over 3.5. So I'm kind of mad about that. I really wish that I took Marcos Scaling under 4 receptions, but I think he could be a potential over here at 3 receptions. I think he could get possibly, I think he should have 3 receptions, but he possibly could have the number 4 mark. I don't think he hits 5 receptions. So that's why I was really liking the 4 reception under, but MVS over 3 receptions probably isn't a terrible play. He had 4 last game, but I like a lot of Chiefs guys, man. Patrick Mahomes was dishing out to a lot of different guys, man. He had Kelce, he had Juju, he had MVS, 4 receptions, 6 receptions, and Travis Kelce had, 8 receptions or something like that last game? So 7, 8, something like that, but yeah, Chargers definitely interesting a lot with Keenan Allen out, so do keep that in mind. But that's pretty much going to do it, man. I genuinely do appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you guys subscribe and leave those post notifications on. Leave a like on the video as well. And check out the Patreon if you guys want, man. The link is in the description down below. You guys can get all sports for $15.99 or just NFL for $10.99 a month if you guys are interested. But that's going to do it. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out, boys. Sign up for PrizePicks if you guys are not already.